It is Friday, March 25th in the NBA, and I'm back my 3 best picks of the day. Let's enter the weekend making some money. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin calling our shot. Let's do a short recap from yesterday. Another disappointing day. March has just been a brutal month. An 0-2 day. We had Evan Mobley doing cardio out there. Kristaps Porzingis finishes 1 bucket short from hitting his over. We banked on a bunch of field goal attempts for him. Yeah, no. Ish Smith shot more than him off the bench. And then we had Giannis's over, and he obviously got ruled out. Now, March, I won't lie to you, it's not been a great month, but we still got a week left of it, and we still got a couple more weeks left in the regular season. I'm determined to get this train back on track and get back into the winning column. That starts today. Now, continue to do all your own research. Always let me know your favorite bet down below. Curious what you guys are playing today. And if you're new to the Call on Our Shot channel, hit that subscribe button down below. We're doing these daily NBA videos. They're not stopping until the end of the playoffs. And then we got baseball starting up in less than 2 weeks, so that's exciting. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 29,000 subscribers, or inch our way closer to that today. Also, click that like button. Shout out again to our COS All-Stars. We appreciate you guys all for supporting us. It really means a lot in tough times like this that you continue to support us. Our newest ones, Gerald, Andy, and Ed. Either way, we appreciate all of you. We really can't do it without you. If you want to join and support us, click the join button on the channel or click the link in the description or the pinned comment. It only costs $2.99 a month, and we really do appreciate it. Now, we're getting the All-Star Sim winners today. You have my word. It is an absolute must, and let's waste no more time. Let's start with the best bet of the day. We're going with the process. Joel Embiid over 11.5 rebounds, minus 114 on FanDuel. Now, if you look at Joel Embiid's game log, he's been on a seesaw over his last, in terms of this line, in terms of over 11.5 or under. You look at it, we're going to go from least recent to most recent. He's gone over, then under, then over, then under, then over, and then under last game. So by law, he's probably got to go over, right? In law of trends. But it's not just that. He's taken on the Clippers, a team that has really been allowing a ton of rebounds all season long. They have not been a good rebounding team. In fact, they've allowed the second most rebounds per game overall to teams, and they're top 10 in rebounds given up to opposing centers. Now, this is an ideal matchup for Embiid because he doesn't really have to do much on defense. He can just chill out down there and just grab rebounds, as he's going to be guarding Zubac. And when Zubac gets into foul trouble, he's going to be guarding Hartenstein or however you pronounce his name. So not much of neither of those guys have an outside game. He'll just be camping out in the paint, corralling the rebounds. Now, if you look at what he's done to the Clippers over his career, very good. They played once this season. He played 37 minutes, had 13 rebounds, also chipping in 40 points. So I don't mind his over in points either today. But games before that, he had 14, 9, 19, 13, 16, and 16 rebounds, hitting this over in 6 of 7 career games versus the Clippers. I don't see that trend stopping today. As of recently, we've seen the Clippers give up a lot of rebounds to guys that aren't even playing a ton of minutes. They gave up 14 to Nikola Jokic, 16 to Rudy Gobert, both above their averages on the season. And I believe Joel Embiid is averaging about 11.3 rebounds per game. And the games before that, we saw Capella and Onyeka Okongwu have 11 and 9 apiece despite playing less than 30 minutes each. And then the game before that, we saw Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims both play around 25 and 20 minutes. Both guys had 11 rebounds. So you get the point. They've been allowing a ton of rebounds to opposing centers and opposing big men. I think Joel Embiid's next up, and I can count on him. I don't normally like to count on him to grab rebounds, but I think I can do it today. I'll take his over 11.5 rebounds against the LA Clippers. Now, Joel, I know he can be lazy on the boards, but we're trusting the process today, and he's going to get us back on track. Now, let's move on to another big man. We're taking Rudy Gobert over 29.5 points plus rebounds, minus 122 on FanDuel. Now, look, when you're in a slump, like we have been for the majority of March, you do it. When you do it, you go back to old reliable, and that's centers versus the Hornets. As you know, well, if you don't, Rudy Gobert is the center taking on the Hornets today, and the Gobert and the Jazz have not looked good as of late, especially the last 2 games, losing to the Nets and then getting blown out by the Celtics last game. But I think they get in a bounce-back spot against a fast-paced matchup in the Charlotte Hornets. Now, like we said, all reliable. Hornets have allowed the most points plus rebounds to opposing centers all season long. It's no surprise that you see Rudy Gobert, despite 3 bad games from Gobert, you see his rebound line at 14.5, and I think that's the book's ways of saying, yeah, he's going to have a pretty good game today. I think he bounces back. Now, you could take his PRA too if you want. It's 30.5. The difference is 29.5 to 30.5. I think he'll get you maybe 1 assist, maybe 2 if you're lucky. And Gobert, he's taken advantage of some positive matchups. As of recently, he had 35 points plus rebounds against the Clippers. Another, like I just said, the Clippers give up a lot of rebounds to opposing centers. 34 against the Bulls, 32 against the Bucks. So basically, he went over in 3 straight. Then went under in the last 3. So I think maybe he starts going over tonight. Like, he had a great game against the Hornets earlier this season. 23 points and 21 rebounds. A big 44 points plus rebounds, a 20-20 game. Well, I don't necessarily expect him to have a 20-20 game. I don't expect him to shoot 16 free throws like he did last time. they won't be able to keep him off the offensive glass. The Hornets are not a good defensive rebounding team, and that's basically Gobert's bread and butter, either getting the rebound and going back up with it or just tap it out to his teammates for an open three-pointer. Look, they aren't going to. We also have seen the Hornets kind of double teaming the opposing star player. We saw them do that to Trae Young. Wouldn't be surprising if they do that to Donovan Mitchell today, whose point line is 29.5. Don't mind that either, but I still do think he can get back on track today. In the games prior to that 2020 game against the Hornets, he did play fewer than 30 minutes in all of those games, but 2 of them were blowouts. One of them was in foul trouble. So if he can get his normal 35-ish minutes today, which I think he can get, I think the Hornets can keep this game close-ish, especially after a bad, disappointing loss to the Knicks. I still do think he can get that. The previous games before those foul trouble games, he had 36, 36, 37, and 31 points plus rebounds against the Hornets. We just saw Obi Toppin have 11 rebounds against them, so if he can grab 11, no reason Gobert can't grab 20 rebounds against them. When he had that 21 rebound game, that was a game with his teammate Royce O'Neal having 13 rebounds of himself. We just saw Jonas Valanciunas have 24 points and 18 rebounds in only 29 minutes of action against this Hornets roster. We also saw Clint Capella have 17 points and 15 rebounds against the Hornets. You get it. You get the joke. You get it. They've given up the most points plus rebounds all season long. I give you a ton more examples, but I think Rudy Gobert can get it done. It also might help that Hassan Whiteside is questionable with a foot injury. It would be nice if he was out. That would likely lean to Gobert playing a little bit more minutes than his usual, but we'll take Rudy Gobert over 29.5 points plus rebounds. Go get it done, Mr. Gobert. Now let's move on to my final play of the day, and it's a spread pick, something you might not have expected. I'm going with the Miami Heat, -5.5 versus the New York Knicks, -110 on BetMGM. Now, look, I get it. The Heat have a lot of question marks, but I think this is the ultimate bounce back spot for them. And like the Heat have looked bad the past 2 games. They had the game against the Sixers where they lost to them outright, and they were favored by 9.5 points. They lost, and the Sixers were without Embiid and Harden. I think they just overlooked them there. And then they had the last game, which was a collapse to the Warriors. Although it was a collapse, but sort of not a collapse. They were down. They were tied at halftime. Then they let the Warriors go on a 19-0 run to start the third. And that's when you saw the bench drama, the people. You saw Jimmy Butler and Udonis Haslem fighting each other. Who knows what was going on? But I think Eric Spoelstra, he's one of the best coaches in the NBA, and he will get that team all corralled up. They will get them all ready to go, and I don't think they'll have any trouble today with my New York Knicks. Now, look, Eric Spoelstra, one of the best coaches in the league, he'll get the troops ready to go, especially looking to get a bounce-back victory against a team I don't think too highly of in my own New York Knicks. Now, you look at the last game for the Knicks. Coming off a big upset victory, a lot of people thought the Hornets would win easily outright. They're like 7.5, 8-point favorites. The Knicks said, no, we're coming in for a victory. Yeah, why did they get a victory? Because they shot 20 for 45 from the three-point line, 44%. You want to know something that's not going to happen again? The Knicks making 23-pointers in back-to-back games. I don't see it happening. If it does, they should play a lottery ticket because this team is not the best team shooting from the field. And look, the Heat do have several players on the injury report. Truthfully, I don't care who plays today, I really don't. You've seen players play in the NBA, they'll rule out their whole teams and they win outright. So it doesn't really matter. This is the NBA. Any team can win any given night. And we've seen guys come off the bench for this Heat team all season long. They've played honestly very well, played very tough on the defensive side. And I think the defense and the Heat bench can step up to beat this New York Knicks team if that's what it comes down to. I do expect Bam Adebayo and Kyle Lowry to be out there. And for what it's worth, Kyle Lowry, it's his birthday today, so he needs to go out there, get us a 6-point or more victory, and cover the spread for us. The Heat have played the Knicks twice. Well, the Heat have lost 2 straight games. They have only lost 3 straight once this season, and the Knicks, in the previous matchups against the Knicks this season, they won by 14 and 15 points. The Knicks have lost 6 straight games in Miami, which is where they are today, by an average margin of 13.1 points per game. They did cover 2 of those games, I think losing by 2 and 4 points. Miami, 16-8-1 against the spread after a loss this season. Obviously, they have lost 2 straight. That's the 3rd best in the NBA. Spoelstra, like I said, usually does a good job fixing the mistakes, getting his team ready, and getting them back into the winning column today. And look, the Heat are 16-9 straight up in the last 29 games, and only 4 of those 16 wins came by 6 or less points. So if they're going to win today, they normally will do it by at least 6 or more, normally by 10-ish points, and I think that's what they will do today. I think they continue to clamp up on the Knicks offense, which is not the best in the world, and we'll see them do pretty well. Now, we look at the Knicks. They really struggled to score the ball. Like I said, the 23-pointers is an absolute anomaly. The last time they played Miami, they lost by 15 points, and that's when they got 46 points from RJ Barrett, still only scoring 100 points as a team. It's not happening today. Give me the Heat, minus the 5.5 in a bounce-back performance against my own New York Knicks. So we'll see how that goes. Our 3 official plays, Embiid over 11.5 rebounds, Rudy Gobert over 29.5 points plus rebounds, and the Miami Heat, minus 5.5 5.5. Normally don't make spread picks official, but I really like this one today. And player props have just not been good to us recently. So we'll go to those 3 plays. I won't add any plays in the comments down below, so no reason to check it or to get back after it. Let's hopefully have a profitable day. I'll see you guys again tomorrow, which is a big day for the Call on Our Shot channel. You'll find out more about that in the morning. But I appreciate you guys. Have a great Friday. Stay safe, everyone, and let's go make some money. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.